Hey friends, you made it to week 10. Way to go. I hope that this week you will find that there's just a lot less reading for you. And I've got a couple of things that I want to share with you, but I know that you're working hard on your final papers, and I'm glad for that. If you, again, need any help, don't hesitate to reach out to Rachel or me. We want to make sure that you're feeling great about that. Follow the rubric that I have set up for you, and you're going to do just fine. And as a matter of fact, you're going to do more than fine. I really believe that the work that you're doing actually can be something that can evoke not only your imagination, but I think you're at the point where you have enough knowledge that you can evoke other imaginations as well as we continue to advocate for emerging adults. I call this section courageous young adult ministry for a reason. I think that oftentimes we think that courage is just what we do or what we call people to or ministry. But there's also something that I hope that you've picked up on throughout this course, that this courageousness um, has to start here. Um, you have to be courageous to learn. You have to be courageous to reflect. You have to be courageous to try. And and I find a lot of times in my interactions with ministry leaders over the years that a lot of people have great ideas, but they never follow through. A lot of people have dreams, but they actually don't step into them for a lot of different reasons. And again, there's no guilt or shame in that. But I think what I want you to hear from me is that um, the work that you do is really, really important because it gives you the courage to actually step out and try things. I mean, in our world and like ministry world, right? That's called faith. We ask everybody else to take steps of faith. As ministry leaders, we've got to be taking ours to take steps of faith as well. So in this particular week of lectures, I want to just unpack a couple of things. First of all, I just want us to recognize the fact that in the work that we've done at the Fuller Youth Institute, we've had to not make assumptions about who young adult ministry leaders are. And what we've found is that they, and this isn't a surprise to you, they're not full-time 40, 50 plus hours a week, well-paid leaders that are doing young adult ministry. It's actually part-time. It's actually part attention. And oftentimes, unfairly, a lot of work is dumped back on youth pastors that just care about their high school graduates, that don't want to see them fall through the cracks. And so we have an attention challenge, I think, when it comes to young adult ministry, simply because there's a lot of people that really don't know who's responsible for it, or they don't have a lot of time. So how do we minister to young adult ministry leaders that perhaps don't get a lot of support or have a lot of time to actually help those that they care about? So I want to unpack that a little bit and see that. And then I also want to just talk a little bit about your soul. What I found is I've worked through and worked with a lot of denominations and leaders that there are a lot of ministry leaders who are emerging adults, youth pastors, associate pastors, nonprofits, student development, you name it, that are trying to be faithful and are dying on the vine. And I am not happy about that because I want to see you make it. I want to see you thrive. And so this idea of emerging adult spirituality and ministry is not, as you can tell, just ministry to a bunch of other people. It's ministry to a lot of you. And I find that there's a tension that if you're an emerging adult in ministry world that you feel this desire to be successful in the best sense of that word, to be faithful to your community. And at the same time, you're working through so much of what we've been talking about this quarter that's deeply important to you. And perhaps, as we've learned from the research, maybe you feel like you can only work it alone. That for you to express your doubts or to raise questions is just not possible in your ministry context. That you might think that you're the only one, or that somehow you're being unfaithful because you are still trying to figure it out. And I just need you to know that it's just really, really normal. And it's okay. And this is not the time to shrink back, but to reach out. So I say this to a lot of emerging adults, and I'm going to say it to all of you. Like, there has got to be someone that you call if you're feeling like you're in trouble. There's got to be someone that you can pick up the phone and say, I'm really struggling. Can you help me? And if there is not, you need to reach out to Rachel and me. I am dead serious. Like, I do not want you dying on the vine. And I can't promise that I can solve all your problems. That's not what I want to do. Um, but I will be an empathetic ear, and I will work with you to find the support that you need. Okay. I'm not serious about it. So I just want you to hear my heart there. As you reflect on these lectures, don't just think about all those people out there, but maybe there's some things that the Spirit is actually speaking to you as well. Because in the end of the day, being successful in this class is not simply doing the work. I just want you to be a whole person. I want you to have hope. I want you to believe that God has called you to something and that you matter. And I just want you to hear that from me right now. So have a great week. I hope that as you are synthesizing and making sense of these things, that you continue to be moved and to be open to what God might be speaking to you, and know that that truly is significant and that it matters. Grace, peace, friends.